So you mean it's official? It's official. I got my show? Okay. I've been getting mine since the 80s. Hold on. Go ahead, man. Stop playing, man. They gave you a show, man, for real. Yeah, man. It's official. Oh, why? You want me to do what? I'm gonna let Google study though. Yeah, what's good, CEO? What's up, man? That's what's good. Pass the word that he got the show, man. Oh, nah, man. What? You mean to tell me that he don't got a show? And that he don't have me to be on the show? You gonna pass it? What? Man, that's gonna be some more money. Alright, I'll do it. I'll pass the word, man. Just give me that loop. I know my show will make you feel some type of way. Check out my show, man. Don't tell Master I'm gonna be on the show. You know the K.Kinte show. Don't tell Master I'm gonna be on the Master.
What's your name? K.Kinte. When the master gives you something, you take it. He gave you a name. It's a nice name. It's Toby. And it's going to be yours till the day you die.
You heard what Master said? What's your name, boy? What's your name? And don't say that K.Kinte shit either, man. Your name is Tony Brown, man. We don't know K.Kinte. You a slave. You born a slave. You will die a slave. All this conscious and all this shit you talking.
Yes, welcome to the K.Kinte show, season 9, episode 2. I told y'all what it's gonna be tonight, right? I've been pumping it all week. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the Don King of this one right now. No, you know what I'm saying? This is the K.Kinte show promotion. You know what I'm saying? To my right, I got Mr. Chris Dorsey. You know, militia member, head of Virginia Militia, Mr. Chris Dorsey. He's in the building.
Greetings to the body of the people. We're gonna cover some really important issues, the most important issues that face humanity, and expose the criminal government and all those who work for the criminal government, like the individual I'm about to discuss issues with. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Now about who I got to my left. It's Mr. Chad Ingold. He has 2 master's degrees in history from VCU, a master's in education at the University of Richmond. It's Mr. Chad Ingold.
Hey everyone, I'm glad to be here tonight. I'm glad to take part in this discussion with my man K.Kinte and Chris Dorsey here. I look forward to a good conversation here, sharing some ideas, chopping it up. Okay,
now ladies and gentlemen, I got a video now. Before I get to the video, I'm going to break down why we actually is here for the people that, you know what I'm saying, might trying to figure out what's going on and different things. Now I had, on my last season, I had Mr. Chris Dorsey on my show, and we was discussing some different topics and different things. Then we had a caller that called in and disagreed with Chris Dorsey, and it got kind of hostile, you know what I'm saying, kind of hostile. So, and it was Chad Ingold that was the call. So, check out this video, ladies and gentlemen, from last season. Just a little clip to give y'all a feel of why we here right now, about to have this big debate. Check this out.
The first thing I'm thinking, Chris Dorsey, is watching. The first thing I'm thinking, Chris Dorsey, is you look like a cop yourself. You talking like a cop. You out there like a professional paid provocateur. You're out there yelling at people for expressing their First Amendment rights to protest out there, and you were the one acting like a fool. So I'm just thinking, where are your motivations? Where do your loyalties lie? Because you're suspect. I'll take my answer off the air. Thank you. I'm just going to ask your guest, what in the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're talking about following the Bible, but you're on Press TV, which is part of a Muslim theocracy. And then, like, you're so confused about King James, what you were just talking about. Like, you have no idea. You are a clear example of what a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Like, and let me tell you, my name is Chad Ingold. I'm a citizen here in Richmond.
Come on down to the studio, buddy. Don't be mouthing off to me. You picked the wrong guy, buddy. But I will tell you that you work at a kiddie jail, Chad Ingalls.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Like, yo, what in the fuck are you talking about? Like, you have no idea. You are a clear example of what a little knowledge is a dangerous thing.
Come on down to the studio, buddy. Don't be mouthing off to me. You picked the wrong guy, buddy.
Audio Jungle.
Yes, welcome back to the K.Kinte show. Now, this is the point where we at, ladies and gentlemen. For the viewers out there, y'all just seen, Chad called in, disagreed with, Chris. And like I said, I got several questions that I'm going to ask both of them. You know what I'm saying? Several questions. And the first question of the topic we're going to get into was what just happened, what everybody just seen on the video. King James Version of the Bible. Okay, religion, man-made, real, or truth? Now, I'm going to start with you, Chris. This is would you like...
Yeah, I'll go first. I mean, this is everything that we talked about, and I want to state right off the bat.
Okay.
This guy says he called in and was just sitting around drunk on a Friday night, and and that's why he called in and started cursing on the air and started making ad hominem attacks and accusations that are completely and 100% incorrect. And when I say something, it's verified. Okay. You brought up the King James Bible. He said I was incorrect about the King James Bible. It's the basis of the law in the United States. Do you think that it's not the basis of the law in the United States?
Hold on.
Okay. But okay, that's fine. That's incorrect. Okay. And he said the King James Bible I was confused about. I said everything about how the King James Bible came to be.
Say that again?
I said everything about how the King James Bible, it was not just King James who wrote the Bible, it was experts.
But who?
Okay.
But who? Who was these
Well,
experts?
It was based on the Tyndale
Francis
Bible.
Bacon was one of them.
Let me start with Erasmus. Let me start with Erasmus and the Geneva Bible. Let me start with Erasmus, the Geneva Bible, and then the Tyndale Bible, and then the Tyndale Bible and experts were ordered in 1603 by King James to come together, which is what I said. And then in 1610 they were finished, and in 1611 it was published, and it was based on the Tyndale Bible, based on the Erasmus Geneva Bible.
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about.
Maybe. How did the Bible get written? Do you know how the Bible get written?
Now, this is the question I have to ask.
I'm just saying this is the basis of the law.
This is the basis. Chris, this is the question I have to ask now, Chris.
Of this.
What you was just saying. This is the question I have to ask. Religion.
Everybody knows that except for an idiot.
Okay, but hold on, Chris. Religion.
Talk about
hold on, Chad.
But it's not an attack.
Religion, man-made or truth?
God creates
religion,
man-made
or
man
truth?
Creates government. God creates man. Man creates government. That's the basis of the law.
Okay, God creates man. Man creates government. Okay, Chris,
Right.
we got your point. Chad Ingold, let's speak.
Okay, if we're going to talk history and dates, the Emperor Constantine got together the various Christian churches
Of
in the year
course he did.
332.
Who's
and
disputing that?
Hold on, and told them to build him a religion to keep his empire unified. That was the point of
Where's the
religion.
source material for that?
Oh, I mean, that's common knowledge, man. That's
Common knowledge to
knowledge. Commonwealth, anybody that looks about the Nicene Conference that happened in 332.
Okay, you know about the Nicene Conference. So what?
That's
Everybody knows
common
about that.
Catholic Church knowledge, and they put the Bible together. So this translation you're talking
This
about
is for the
based
Reformed
on
Church.
A bunch of dudes.
This is
a
from the
bunch of
Reformed
European
Church.
dudes that got in a room.
All
and were like,
religion
we
is
need to
based
build a
on
religion.
astrotheology.
They all
Okay, we can.
It's man-made. It's man-made.
Man-made, okay, we-
man-made.
No, it's made from the heavens. It's based on
That ratty Bible you got right there was made from the heavens? Come on,
Yes, it
man.
is. It's astrotheology.
Come on, man.
It's astrotheology. It's the basis of all religions. The religion of the stars. As above, so below. That's the basis of every single religion on the planet. The astrotheological religion of the stars. Do you think that that's not true?
So is it based on God or is it based on the stars? Is it Jesus
God
or
is
is
in
it the
heaven.
stars? Make
God
up
is
your
the
mind.
creator of man, and
He's
God
in
is
the
in
sun?
heaven.
Where's
So-
that?
It's all, and it's both.
You
It's
worship what you
everything.
know.
So you said
You worship what you know.
so Chad, you said religion is man-made.
I said the Bible is man-made.
Bible
right?
is
Every religion's
man-made.
It's made
Okay,
by
yeah.
men who make the rules.
The
They
Bible
make the
is-
books.
Okay, and Chris,
the Bible
what
wasn't
you
handed
say
down
about
from the
religion,
sky. It
basically?
didn't come
Of course
down.
it's
Let's
written
be
by
honest.
men.
Some man
Okay.
wrote that.
But man creates, God creates
Paul wrote
man.
it. The Saint Paul, who was he was
wrote-
going to kill Christians, and then he had a rebirth, and he was like,
That's
"Now I'm a
correct.
Christian." Like, come on, man.
I
Come on.
mean, you know some of the story. Yeah, you do know
I
some
know
of
a
the
lot of
story.
the story.
You
You're
know
not the
some
only
of
one
the
that know
allegory.
everything. Where did you
Okay.
get your degree in history at?
I don't have a degree in history, but it's really sad. You're taught by this government system to lie to children, and that's what you do. And basically, you make ad hominem attacks, and you're saying that the common law, based on the King James Version of the Bible, is not the basis for the law of the
Okay.
United States.
Now,
You're saying that.
now,
And that's
but
totally incorrect. So it doesn't matter whether you have a fancy degree and you're incorrect. You're still incorrect.
Okay, Chris. Okay, Chris. Okay, we going to another. We going to another topic. We going to another topic. We already got that one about religion, King James. We going to another topic. Before we go to this other topic, I just noticed what you were saying about Chad. You said Illuminati tattoos, and why do you say it? Because he have eyes on his tattoos. Can we get a close up?
I don't know. Maybe get a close up. I mean,
get a close up because you know
I know
what I'm
it's
saying.
the Jewish mafia that controls all governments.
He has eyes on his tattoos.
But I
so-
definitely also know of the occult
But
symbols.
you know now,
of
Chris,
all these
now
institutions.
Chris. Okay, now remember what you
Yeah,
said with the
Jewish
eye.
mafia.
What you
Yeah,
said with the
absolutely.
eye. So that means he's an Illuminati member or something?
No,
because he has-
no. We're going to talk about. You know, he said he brought up the Jewish mafia, and of course, everyone knows that the Jewish mafia controls all the governments of the world. It controls Vladimir Putin, and it's through the same.
Now let me ask you
and
this
Donald
though, Chris.
Trump,
Hold on,
and Donald
Chris.
Trump.
No, hold on, Chris. Hold on,
Just
Chris.
look
Hold
up.
on, Chris.
Let me ask-
Do you believe it's a Jewish?
Semi-homological-
Do you believe it's a
semi-homological-
Jewish conspiracy to rule the world?
That's.
Do you believe it's a Jewish conspiracy to rule the world?
I'm
Both
saying
questions.
that this is
Look.
there's an organized crime mob, and there's lots of elements, including
Okay.
and especially the Catholic Church. But we're going to get
King
into.
James was a Catholic. Did you know that? Come on, man.
I know.
What are you talking about? You know so little. You just talk like you know
King
a lot.
James was a
you got a
Catholic.
couple books here. Like, come on, man. Come on, I read way more books than you ever read. Like, for real, I'm way more educated than you. You got a couple, you got the Bible trying to talk about the Constitution. Like, come on, man. Like can we talk for real? Can we discuss
we are
for
talking.
real?
Hold on a second,
Do you
hold on a
believe that it's a Jewish conspiracy to rule the world?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
So
Break down. Hold on, Chad. Break down your opinion. Why you know?
Here's why I don't believe it, because
Okay.
I know that the basics of a lot of this thought comes from a book called The Protocols of the Elders of Zion, right? That's what turned Hitler on to,
Hey, if
to
anybody-
the anti-Semitic
whoa, whoa,
ideas.
whoa.
Yeah, well,
Let
anybody wants to learn how things work,
and that
please
book
read that
was a
book.
forgery
Please read that
by the
book.
Russian secret
A forgery of
police
what?
designed to do pogroms, which was attacks on the Jewish communities in Russia. Hitler read that book and was radicalized by it. The book is a proven
That's not
forgery,
true.
but people have continued to use this book for over a century to back up these Illuminati
I'm gonna let you
things
speak. I'm gonna
and
let you
Freemasons and Jews,
let you speak.
and it's based on a forgery. So it's like the rest of the discussion, you basing it on a forgery and on the Bible. So like the discussion, where can we go with that?
Okay.
As like two
Now,
rational,
Chris,
civilized men.
Go ahead, time
Where can
in,
we go
Chris.
with
Do
that?
you believe that it's the Jewish conspiracy to rule the world? You go
Okay.
and break that down.
Here's the thing. So Chad is very impressed
I'm
by
a high
his
school
own,
teacher, by the
by
way.
his,
Somebody
by his
get
own.
Richmond Public Schools high school teacher. That's what I am. History.
So Chad is very impressed by his own degrees from
I am. Go Rams, go Spiders.
Go Rams, go Spiders. That's a lot. You paid a lot in.
No, I didn't pay that much. I got paid by Richmond Public Schools on a grade to attend.
Well, so
it was really nice
then you all paid.
Shout out to Richmond Public Schools.
Then you all paid for this tattooed thug to go out and get a very bad education.
Chris, let me ask you
from
this, Chris.
VCU.
Why you have to call him a thug? Because he had tattoos.
Yeah, we're talking about ad hominem attacks. Like, what do you think what ad hominem means?
He's not
You know what ad hominem
thug.
means?
Why you say he's a thug? Because
that's the way he behaves. He behaves like a thug.
You got a gun! You got the gun! What the fuck are you talking about?
That's my God-given right.
Okay,
That's my
Chris.
God-given right.
True. Now let's go
That's
to
my God-given right.
Now, Chris, we can go
So
to this.
what?
We can
You
go to
seem
this
to
one.
just laugh at things.
I'm laughing
Hold
at
on,
this
hold
shit. It's
on.
real funny to me.
So
That's
tell me. Let's get on the record. Okay. So what is the institution that sets the capital rates for all of the United States government?
I guess you're gonna start talking about the Federal Reserve, sure.
So
Federal
no.
Reserve,
I asked you a question.
The third bank of the United States.
So is that your answer? Is that who sets the capitalization
I think that is
rates
my final
and
answer.
that controls the
Yes,
economy?
that's
Okay.
my final answer.
Okay. So what's the institution that controls that one?
I mean, the people that Congress legislated the power to do it, which
No.
are various people that the president appoints as the
No,
the
that's
head,
the wrong
and he
answer.
appoints
I
other-
don't want to waste any more time. That's the wrong answer.
Okay, Chris,
That's
break
the-
that
hold
down.
on, hold on.
Break that one down. Then we
Let's
go on
break
to
it down
another
because-
one. We go on to another one because
Sure, but let me
we go on to another topic.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
though, because I want to explain
Explain it.
how
Explain it.
important
Explain it.
this is to everyone, including the folks on the stage, because
Go ahead.
money controls everything. Do you disagree?
We agree.
Do you disagree?
I disagree, sure, but yeah. I
Okay.
disagree.
So how do you live in this society if you have all access to debt and money, or zero access to debt and money? Who lives better?
I got a job. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so do you think you live better than a billionaire, or worse than somebody in Jackson Ward and
I
Gilbert
feel
Court?
like when I see the billionaire, I know they stacked up lots of material things. I know I stacked up lots of spiritual things. It's a balance. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
don't think so.
You know
You
what
sit
I mean?
at
Like, I
home
don't know.
and get too drunk on a
You're
Friday
the
and
one all the time,
call up
buddy.
a.
You're the one on the internet all the time. I work. I got a family. Like I work.
I work
full-time.
too.
I'm
I work too. When
respected
somebody
member of my community.
when an international news agency wants to get an opinion, they'll call me up and I'll discuss whatever, and I'll go down to the Virginia State Capitol in the PBS studio, and I get seen by millions of folks. So, like, you can say whatever and brag about whatever you're saying, but we're here to discuss facts. And the facts are, there's an international monetary organization that controls all the governments of the world. Do you doubt that, Chad Ingold?
I
Do you
think
doubt
that you're such a simplistic, simple person with your arguments that I don't know how to debate it really.
Okay,
like if you want to talk,
it
you
doesn't
gotta let
matter.
someone else
Now,
talk.
Chad,
You can't just
Chad.
say, "Do you agree now?" or "Don't you
Chad
agree?"
and Chris, now
Because
Chris, this is the question I have to ask you, Chris.
basic common sense.
Chris.
You either don't
See what
understand
you're
how
doing?
money
You're
works.
using
Hold on.
arguments.
Chris, this is the question I have to ask you, Chris.
I learned in ninth grade
Hold on,
English.
international
Chris, this is the question I have to ask you. With Chad, now, okay, you
So he
called.
doesn't
No, hold
know what
on.
the Bank for
But
International
remember this. You
Settlements
called
is.
Chad. Now remember.
It controls all the governments of the world through the Basel III Accord because it sets the capitalization
Bunch of
rate
shit, no one
for
knows what he's
every
talking
government
about.
of the planet.
Okay.
Then they're not very smart because it's very simple.
Now,
So
Chris.
we're all idiots, but you're so smart.
No.
What the fuck are you
I'm
doing with your
not
life?
so
What
smart
are you
because-
doing? Seriously. You
I'm
want to do
just
ad
not
hominem
that
attacks? Do you even
stupid.
have a job?
Okay.
My
Did you
job
graduate
is
high
this.
school? Like,
okay, we can chill right here. Let me get
I'm a
between this
journalist.
one. Let me get
Come on,
between this
man.
one. Chad, hold on. Chris, hold on. The question I have to ask you, Chris, is
I'd like
this.
to get my press
Chris.
ID. I'm a paid
We know, Chris.
journalist.
Chris, hold on, Chris.
Iranian television.
Oh, we know. Hold on.
Islamic theocratic
Let me ask
television.
Chad. Let me ask Chris
It
this
can't
question.
be. It can't be because
Now, Chris.
it's registered in the United States.
Chris, for the
Let's
people
see,
out there,
man.
Chris, for the people out there, tell the viewers, why did you call and said Chad was an agent? Break that down.
Oh,
You
because
said he's an agent.
Chad works for the government. Chad works for the government.
But you
He's paid by the
hold
government.
now when you
for the
say
government.
hold.
He's a teacher in a key
But
jail.
when you say
In a juvenile jail
agent though,
system.
Chris, when you say agent, you saying it like he's a snitch. He's
He's
this.
definitely like a snitch.
Do you have facts
Like
to
a-
prove that?
Like his behavior and the
We have
fact
to
that
have facts when you call somebody a snitch
Okay,
or something.
here's the
you have
facts.
to have
Here's the facts.
Facts
Okay,
to back
okay.
that up. I'm just saying.
Here's the facts. Here's the facts.
Okay.
So when I tell you I'm going to give you facts, I like it to be clear that I'm ready to give facts, and that this isn't the only time I've given these facts. Okay, so everything that the government does is based on a fraud. Everything.
Okay.
The education system, the monetary system, the taxation system, the military that controls everything that most folks see on their television. Yeah, well, I just want to make sure everyone gets this, because this is verified and obvious. For example, your votes don't count. We're told that a foreign government controlled by Vladimir Putin, controlled by the Russian mafia like Semyon Mikhailovich, Lev Leviev, Nat Rothschild, Mendelsohn, and you go down the list of the folks that wash their money through Donald Trump.
Okay.
They basically are just a money launderer for this Jewish mafia that controls everything, like Sheldon Adelson, and it's based on a lot of underworld tactics.
Okay.
But here's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he's an agent of that.
How?
And the reason
What is
why
the
I'm saying
fact?
that is because
The facts,
the
okay.
facts are, when folks watch this show and I start getting on a roll and telling everybody about how all the government agents are compromised, this guy calls in and starts cussing, and then he calls back and says, "Oh, I'm just drunk, man. I got out of control."
That. You just made that up.
That's
like,
what.
shit.
No,
You
he
didn't
said
say that at all.
that.
That's ridiculous. You just
He
lied
said-
now.
No,
You
you said
played the
that. I
tape
said what?
back.
He's
Come
drunk.
on, man.
Yeah, and
Nobody
It was
said
on.
that.
It was just on the
producers,
tape.
and the producer said it too. Because you told me.
Nobody
was
told
drunk.
you that.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
okay,
you did.
whatever,
Okay.
right,
Yeah, he
whatever.
did. So okay, again, you'd say I didn't do something, and then he didn't do something, and you're wrong.
You're wild.
And
Bro,
then
that's
you were
like-
disproven
you're
wrong.
wild, dude.
That's all you can say. But
You're wild,
what
dude.
I'm saying is fact. And
Okay.
what you're saying is, oh, you're
Okay, hold
wild,
on, Chris.
man.
Okay, now Chad.
You
Now
just
hold on, Chris.
do
Okay,
this and do
we
that.
got your point. We got your
Whatever.
point. We got your point, Chris. Now, Chad, what do you have to say to the viewers as far as for him calling you an agent and different things? You actually you're a high school
work for the
teacher.
government.
But now what do you have to say about that, though, Chad?
I mean, like, okay, first, like, the charge of my agent, like, it's clearly ridiculous, right? I work for Richmond Public Schools 16 years now, right? I'm really a highly valued member of the Richmond Public Schools community, a highly valued member of my Richmond community, and I mean, I feel like you judge a man on what he does, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, what are you doing, right? Like, I'm teaching young kids and raising those minds up. You have no idea what goes on in my class, right? You have no idea. So I'm raising young minds up to form a better world while you carrying a gun around your hip talking about arresting all the members of the government. Like, who's living something that's more productive? So if you're going to ad hominem attack me, talk about I'm an agent, I work at a kiddie jail. No, man, you don't even know where I work, right? You have no idea.
I know you work at Open High School.
Okay, what you know about that, right? Like, people across the
I
whole
know
metropolitan area would be
multiple people
shocked
that you work
to
with.
hear the things you're saying, right? No, you don't. No, you don't, unless you
Yeah, I
Google
do.
me, right? Like, because you're on the internet all the time. So I guess if you're on the internet all the time, you could look me up, sure, right? But no, I'm out there doing
Hey,
real
Google
things.
me.
I'm raising kids,
Man,
right?
the
Like, I'm doing my
information
thing.
you
I'm
put out
paying
is
taxes.
misinformation.
Now-
Like, I'm doing my thing, right? Like,
Taxes
so
is
to
theft.
say I'm an
Taxation
agent.
is theft.
Now,
Taxation
Okay,
is theft.
okay. Now I want to go to this next question. We got through that. Now this next question I'm about to ask you. For both of y'all, I want both of y'all to answer this next question. And I'm gonna give it to you first, Chris. Reparations for slavery. There is no disputing that African Americans descendants suffered centuries of enslavement.
Yeah.
What for or less certain, however, is what kind of debt is owed to descendants of slaves. Should the U.S. pay reparations for slavery?
The U.S. should not pay for reparations for slavery because
Whoa!
Whoa.
Speak it out there. What you just said. Speak it out there. Speak it to the
slave
viewers. What you
trade.
just said.
The slave trade was run by the Jews. The Jews ran the slave trade. Were the Monsanto family Jews?
Hold on. Speak.
The Jews.
Look it up. Look up.
So
Look
you
it up
saying,
on Google.
whoa.
Look it
Do
up on
Google
Google.
search
Google
for-
will tell you, right? That's
So-
what educated people look for answers.
So you said, Chris, the
Jews
U.S.
ran the slave trade. Everybody knows that.
Okay, but the U.S. shouldn't pay reparations
No,
for slavery.
no.
That's your-
I think the millionaires and billionaires, because what you're saying is that taxpayers should take money from themselves to give back to themselves. So why don't we take it directly out of the corporations that came from the slave trade, like CSX or what has become Dominion Power, or individuals who have benefited from this system. All the millionaires and billionaires. I don't believe that the minimum wage is really the solution to any problem. I think that there absolutely should be a maximum wage. And money controls everything. And if one wants to scoff that off, then one is an absolute novice in comprehending how the world functions and how the world works. And it's as simple as that. And if one at home watching doesn't realize that they're a debt slave in a system based on usury, and that before Jerome Powell, the Catholic Jesuit, hold on a second, became head of the Federal Reserve Bank that controls everything, it was 30 years of Israeli dual citizens, and AIPAC runs this government. If you don't know that, you don't know anything.
Okay, Chris. Okay, Chris. Now, Mr. Chad Ingold, question for you: should the U.S. pay reparations for slavery?
I agree. Yes. Like there's plans people introduce, like giving people free education, sending people to college for free. You know, there's a lot of plans that have been introduced that don't necessarily.
What about those who don't get?
Don't necessarily equal taking taxpayers' money to pay taxpayers, which is a really simplistic argument again. But I guess I'm a novice, so you got to keep it simple for me. But I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, and for you to say debt slavery and talk about being a slave all the time after the history of slavery in this country, after what has happened, what real slavery meant, where you're being raped with your kids ripped away,
by the Jews,
sold away from your family, with losing your name, your identity, and now you're like, oh, you know, no big deal.
That's what the Jews did. I didn't do it.
We're not talking about did you do it. It's not about you. It's not about you. Nobody asked about you. They asked about
Jews.
A historical imbalance, a historical.
I did not do it. The Jews did it. Your people did it. Your persons did it. But it's true. You can laugh all you want, but it's absolutely true.
I can laugh because it's just funny to me because of my name and I guess my hook nose. You're saying things, right? It's funny to me.
But you are.
Really funny.
Are you not Jewish?
So
you're Jewish. Like if you did when you do a 23andMe DNA test, it would come up like 99.9% Ashkenazi Jew, right?
Ashkenazi, that's the good one though, right? Or is that the bad one that rules the world? Which one rules the world so I can be that one?
It's one and the same.
Good. So Chris, you don't like Jews. You don't like no Jews. That's what you're saying. You don't like no Jews?
Did I say the word? I made a lot of statements of fact about Jews. And so, like, it doesn't really matter how I feel about any individual. That's not what the rule of law is about.
Chris, people can think you a Jew though too.
But it's not true.
But they wouldn't, because a Jewish person wouldn't act like that.
Why would somebody think that I'm Jewish?
I was just saying though.
Because
you would never see a Jewish person acting like this.
No. This is about. I'm talking about Jewish, like a nationality, not just the satanic cult.
Well, I'm not from Israel. Like, if that's what you're saying, I'm not from Israel. I don't worship Satan, so I don't know. Like,
yeah, I mean, but you.
I was knowing. I'm born in America. Like I got my ancestors all the way back to 1660 are born in America. Like. And Jews weren't coming to America in 1660, but
yeah, they ran the slave trade there in America.
Some other ethnic things going on with me, you know, that's my business. I understand, you know, but I appreciate what you're saying.
Because it's true. It's just true. Jews ran the slave trade, the Monsanto family. Look at the Rhode Island plantation, entirely run by Jews.
Okay, I got another question. I got another question for both of you guys, though. Another question I want y'all to answer. What are the social consequences of racial slavery?
Racial slavery.
What are the social consequences of racial slavery? Break it down, Mr. Chris Dorsey, you're first.
Well, I'm going to say what I wish to say on the topic. And what we talked about last time is that all ethnic groups in America, whether they be Native Americans or blacks and all individuals, owned slaves. Some of my ancestors came to this country as an indentured servant. They were in debt, and they came to this country, and they had to work without pay for a certain number of years. And I just want to point that out, that as we verified, as everyone knows, every ethnic group in the United States, every nationality owned slaves, including black people. So I did not do that. I do not advocate for slavery. I'm only advocating to set folks free, and the only way to have freedom is what's set forth in the First and Second Amendment in the Constitution for the United States, based on the common law.
We all carry a Constitution, bro.
He keeps his in his back pocket.
Like what?
He keeps his in his back pocket.
We all got ours in our pocket.
He keeps his in his back pocket.
Okay. like,
So
it's the
okay.
law of the land. That's fine. That's great.
let me hold it here.
But it
so I can
says
look at it and make sure you're telling
freedom
the
of
truth about it.
religion, the freedom to think. That's the first thing to have a free state. And the second thing for a free state, it especially says here, I'm going to read from Virginia Constitution, which is the law of the land here. Whereas a well-regulated militia composed of the body of the people trained to arms is the proper, natural, and safe defense of a free state. That standing armies, which is what we have, that's what the police are, that's what our standing armies that fight in these non-stop wars here in the United States, the drug war and overseas and every corner of the planet, in times of peace should be avoided as dangerous to liberty. This is a slave state. This is you have absolutely no freedom. You have no freedom at all in the United States.
But you got a gun. And
According-
you're just screaming at the camera, but no freedom.
That's my God-given
Sorry,
right.
I gotta talk. You talk.
Okay.
so much.
Okay.
Should be avoided as dangerous to liberty. Let me, and that in all cases, the military should be under strict subordination to and governed by the civil power. That means the people. It says, whereas all power is vested and consequently derived from the people. Magistrates are their trustees and servants, and at all times amenable to them. So that means
You're the boss?
it means the body of the people are the boss. It
Okay,
means the
okay.
people have control of all the weapons of war and all the issuance of currency and the public airwaves, because those are the only things that matter. You either have control of those things or you're a complete slave. The people don't have control of the issuance of currency. Otherwise, the valuation of their money wouldn't keep decreasing year in, year out. Inflation wouldn't just go through the roof. We would still be paying.
Okay. I'm gonna let you. Let me let Chad get into it right quick. Hold on.
And who enforces that?
Hold on.
Those with the guns. And it's not me with my
Okay,
knife.
hold on. Question.
It's those with the nukes.
Question.
With the
What
nukes.
are the social consequences of racial slavery?
Man, we don't even have time to get into it, really. I mean, the
Well, make it quick
consequences
then.
are large, right?
Go,
Like,
let's let Chad
let's go
speak.
slow, right? The first consequences was that a large group of people were legally owned as property and treated as property, and no indentured servants weren't owned as property and used as property and had their children ripped away and had their wives and husbands ripped away and sold all over the place. And that's people that live on this world right now's great-great-great-great-grandparents, just like your great-great-great-grandparent was an indentured servant. You pulled yourself up by your bootstraps just like he did. No, we're talking about some shit that you don't even seem to comprehend what actually happened. Right, we're talking about people dragged in ships across the ocean. We're talking about people branded on the cheek, ripped away from everything they knew, and then raised in a society that even after God blessed the government and Abraham Lincoln for the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, God blessed
That makes
this
everyone a
land.
slave.
And so ever since then, right, it's been a constant system of oppression and segregation. And we live in Richmond, Virginia. I don't even see how we're having this discussion in any way but a building discussion, but we're arguing about it, which is crazy because you can look all around and see the consequences of it.
What does building discussion mean? What do you mean
Yes,
by that?
It's much different than what you're doing here. That's what I'm saying.
Now, hold on. Now,
See-
we was talking about. Hold on, we were talking about it. Now, Chris.
You've been
Chris,
exposed.
hold on. Chris,
Your
hold on.
ancestors did this.
Hold on, Chris. Okay, hold on, Chris. Hold on. Now, but
They
he just
did.
Okay, let's say they did, then I'm trying to repent right now, right? I'm not saying they did, but I'm saying,
So
like,
what?
let me take
So
your
you
attack.
take
So I got an understanding to move forward and to raise these young minds up.
dished out to you.
Well, like, nothing you say makes sense to anybody. Like, you don't really have a following. You just go out and talk shit with your gun, yell at people, and do some crazy stuff to get attention to yourself. But, I mean, nothing you're doing is building anything. Nothing you do does anything. You offer no
Nothing I do
value.
does
Where's the
anything.
value offered to society?
This is educating them on. Are you satisfied with the way that the government operates right now?
Of course not. Of course not. But
So,
you
so
are
y'all both agree. Y'all both agree on
I'm
this.
satisfied with
Y'all
a
both
lot of
agree.
things the government
He'll
does.
Not everything, but
I'm
y'all both agree
satisfied
on
with
something.
public
With him on
education.
anything.
I love public education. That's my jam.
The
government
Richmond
does
City
that,
schools
right?
are
I love it.
are failure. Okay, let's just be honest. Okay, one would have to be a moron to think that the Richmond City schools is anything to stand up for, and this is why this tattooed nonsense artist, this Jewish
I know y'all-
jibber jabber,
Chris.
is in any sort of way legitimate.
Chris,
in any sort of way.
Chris,
I'm reading from the law. and
Chris,
this guy is
he haven't
talking
even
about
assaulted
things.
you. He haven't even assaulted you though. You
Trying not
constantly
to.
assaulting him. He demanded.
No.
He haven't
I'm
assaulted
just
you.
stating what facts are.
Yeah, but he haven't assaulted you. We have a
All I'm
civilized
doing-
one.
No,
So he
that's what I'm
could.
doing.
But let me give you an example though, Chris. He can say, "Oh, you a KKK member."
But that's not true.
That's not exactly. I'm just saying.
I could say that.
But I'm just saying though. I'm
Richmond
just
City
saying
public
though.
schools
So
are
let's
failure.
not
Does anybody watch the news out there?
We watch the news.
Okay. So you watch
We're
the
trying to
news,
build
and you wanna
ourselves
tell
up,
me-
not break
I know you
ourselves
work
down,
for
man.
these guys, but you want to tell
These
me that the
guys?
Richmond City public schools are not a failure?
Which is the result of what the question just asked.
We talking about the question.
The
though.
consequences of this
racial
racial
slavery.
slavery. Like,
Right.
what the hell?
Okay.
Any
that's-
idiot knows
so
that.
that's what causes the problem. So is the solution to the problem to talk about the cause or to do something about it? You are right now
Something
working
about
for a failed organization, and you're bragging about it. You're doing it right now.
I know
So
a lot
you're
of
part
you
of the
watching.
problem
Our
right
RPS
now,
people,
not
you're
the
in
problem that
RPS,
happened
like,
200
I don't know how
years
to
ago.
respond to that.
Okay,
Yeah, I do have
okay.
pride. I have
Look it
pride
up,
in
folks.
my city. I have
If-
pride in my school
why?
system.
Richmond's
I
Richmond's
take
an
great pride in my
SHIT hole.
profession.
Richmond is
Okay,
a
Chris.
garbage city. It really is.
Okay, Chris. We
That's
gonna
why
go
you
to
got that gun, because
we
you're
go-
scared. That's why you carry that gun. You're scared. You
We
come
gonna
out
go
here
to the
like,
next
whoa.
topic. We gonna
Whoa,
go to the
it's
next
scary
topic.
in Richmond.
We gonna go to the next topic. I want both of y'all. Both
Hey.
the next topic.
Let's both go.
Yeah, but
Hey,
whoa,
no.
next topic,
Let's
next
talk
topic,
right
next
here.
topic. Hold on, next topic.
I can go
This is
unarmed.
about next topic. Hold on, next topic. This is about the Confederate statues. Both about the Confederate statues.
Here we go.
Confederate statues, all of them. Now, should they come down or should they stay up? First question, Chris Dorsey. Let the viewers know.
First of all,
Confederate statues. Let's go.
there are issues that really matter. Okay, for example, doing a little bit of research into how the government has patented mind control machines and
call it Dodge.
and how. Listen, I'm going to get to my answer, but I'm going to give context because I'm not going to play these like little gotcha games with one-word answers. That's the only way you can compete with me. Okay, so here's the thing. Or I mean, we've had the most absurd weather anywhere. Just look up United States patents and weather manipulation machines. If you looked up in the sky today around Richmond, you'll see these chemtrails, this geoengineering everywhere.
But Chris,
are you disputing?
now, hold on, let's talk about the question. The Confederate statues. Should they come
Why
up?
should-
Should they come up or should they come back? Confederate
I'll
statues.
answer the question
Simple. Let's go ahead.
by asking a question.
Go ahead.
Why should they go down? Why should they?
Can I answer?
Go ahead.
So-
go ahead,
so-
Chad. No, let Chad.
Okay,
Go
go.
ahead. Go
Go
ahead, Chad.
Because just for the viewers at home, I ran for mayor in 2016, and I got to answer. You know, I made a big deal about saying, yeah, they should come down, like bring our hammers and get them down. You know, like
Try
I'm not
it.
from
Yeah.
Richmond. I lived in Richmond a little over 20 years. And when I moved here, I was shocked of these statues. I was shocked. I didn't know the Confederacy was real like that. You know, I lived other places where you learn some certain things and you make your own moral decision about, you know, who's the good guys and the so-called bad guys. So I came here, and ever since I saw them statues, it was a disturbing reminder of the kinds of things I didn't even know
Directly about
until
the
I moved here was real. So yeah, absolutely, it should come down. They're a continued reminder of the system of racial slavery that we were talking about. And I don't think that tearing a statue down will get rid of all of the symptoms, but having a constant reminder certainly increases the trauma that exists from those previous historical
I'm
issues.
right
Okay.
now that we put
Go ahead,
another
Chris Dorsey.
statue.
Go ahead,
we put
follow that
another
up,
statue up, and we could put another 10 statues up on Monument Avenue,
love to.
and that will be for the Black Confederates, for the slave owners, including the Black slave owners in the state of Virginia and throughout the South. And let's do that. Let's put up another statue, a Confederate statue for the Black Confederates. How do you
Or Abraham
how do you
Lincoln,
ask
right?
that?
He's cool. Abraham Lincoln's cool. I don't know.
How about the Cherokee?
Gabriel
how about the
Gabriel
Cherokee
Prosser,
Confederates? They were the last to surrender. They were
This
the last
is a slavery
Confederates to surrender.
apologist
Yes,
idea
this-
that dudes use to say like, oh, black people own slaves.
No,
so
no, no.
let's not
What
really
we
talk
saying-
about
My
what
answer
we
is it
saying-
had nothing to do with slavery.
Like,
and
no,
I-
like,
Hold, Chris. You said your ancestors had nothing to do with slavery.
Not that I know of.
You're sure about that?
I've
You're positive about that, Chris?
No, I'm not.
Hold on. Okay.
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying now.
I would like to know if they
But-
did. I mean, it would make no difference to me about what I'm saying now. But as far as I know, and I've done
Yeah,
extensive
yeah, go ahead, Chad.
That's
Go
not
ahead,
what
Chad.
it's about. Regardless if your ancestors did it, my ancestors, if your ancestors
But it's
were
all in the
enslaved or
past.
not, it's in us. This was our... No, it's not in the past. That's what made us who we are. Those people in the past made
Right.
all of us who we are.
That-
all of us.
that's-
It's not a
that's
black
what-
and white issue.
Oh,
It's a
no, no, no,
Jewish
no, no.
and black
Oh,
issue.
oh.
It's a Jewish
It's an
and black
American issue.
It's a Jewish and black issue.
Okay.
So,
It is.
so,
I mean, if you don't realize-
Chris Dorsey, why you
Yes.
say it's a Jewish and black issue?
Because the
he's
Jews,
anti-Semitic.
Tell me why
That's
you,
why.
tell the viewers
the
why.
Jews ran the slave trade. The
Okay.
Jews ran the slave trade. I mean, how many times do I have to say
Wait,
it?
okay,
I don't want
okay.
to
The Jews ran the
it's some
slave
Nazi
trade.
shit. It's some Nazi shit. I want to
I'm
be like,
not
you're
a
a Nazi.
Nazi.
I don't think you're a
My-
Nazi,
my-
but I think you rub elbows with your buddy Nazis when you're out there doing whatever you're doing when you're not in Richmond.
So I have no supporters,
I think
and then
Nazis-
I'm backed
you don't
by
have-
Nazis?
We got some Nazi supporters, but to me, that's no supporters. So like, you know.
Well, I mean, one of
you're
the co-hosts
borderline
of my show
fascist,
every
man.
week is an
You're an
African
internet nerd,
American.
bro.
Now,
Like, come on.
now,
So-
the next question I have to ask. The next question I have to
So
ask.
they accuse him. His name is Clifford Eberhardt, and it's a German name. So they accuse him of being a
I'm
Nazi.
accusing you of being a Nazi
No,
because you're
I'm just
anti-Semitic, and so were the Nazis. That's why I'm
The
accusing you.
Nazis also were financed by
Okay.
the same Jewish
Here we go.
cabal.
Here we
Next question. I'm going to the next
Jews
question.
were
Chris.
Adolf
Nazis.
Hitler,
Crazy.
Adolf
I'm a-
Hitler. Look up at Adolf Hitler's genetics.
I don't have to look
He
up
won-
whatever you said
Okay.
because
Listen,
I'm
I'm
already
going to the next
just saying.
question.
I don't have to
Next
look
question I
at
have for both of you. I'm gonna start off
All
with
right,
you.
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna start off with you, Chad, because you know, Chad, you actually ran for mayor. You know, and if you would have won and was to be the mayor, Chad, was you opposed for the African burial ground getting memorialized?
Oh man, I'm all for I'm all for more than memorialize, right?
Okay.
Like some kind of serious memorialization, like they did in New York when they discovered the African burial grounds there. You know, they took people up. They had a huge funeral down the street. They re-interned them with respect, which was very valuable to the community in the way that they felt. Even brought the community together as people from all walks of life walking through Manhattan, re-interning these things. You know,
Yes.
I would like us to. You know, it might be a lot to go to that.
Yes.
But that's a focus of mine. You know,
Let's do it.
at
Hold
Open.
on.
I
Let's
recently
do it.
got a grant to go and take kids on the slave trade. I want to teach
Okay.
them about various things down there. So like it is
all about
definitely
the
an
money.
interest of mine. It is about the money. I needed money to pay some
Yeah.
experts to come in and teach them some drum and dancing and
So
drum.
you taking the
techniques,
kids
so-
down to the slave trail?
Yeah,
and
yeah, and
teaching
then
about-
we're gonna train them in some historical interpretive drumming dancing techniques, and they're gonna end by making a little documentary that if people at home you look out for, it'll be showing us some First Fridays on Broad Street in the New Year, and so I definitely think being the final step of that slave trade or that slave trail, then it should be memorialized, and I enjoy that it's now getting there. Right, there's a little obelisk down there.
Okay.
It's been grassed over. It's not the parking lot it was, and I think by all means that's the least we can do. Like the least as Richmonders we can do, especially with this neighborhood we're in right now. Things are building up. There's plenty of money going around. So
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
okay. No, Chris, I got another question. I got a question for you.
I want to agree
Hold
with
on,
that.
Chris.
Let's dig up
Chris.
all the
That was-
African and
hold on.
all other burial grounds everywhere.
Hold on, Chris.
Bring
Chris.
everything to a complete
Chris,
stop
hold on.
for everybody.
True,
I agree.
Chris, hold on.
I agree.
That
We
was
should-
his question. I got a question for you, Chris.
I answered his question as well.
Okay. Now I'm gonna give you one, Chris.
Okay, sure.
Now, Chris, everybody out there know Chris Dorsey ran for sheriff, right? I don't know what the year was. Was it
2013.
2013, you ran for sheriff. Now, okay, Chris, if you would have won, if you would have won, now what would you would have did far as to
Immediately-
help stop
Enforce
mass
the Constitution.
incarceration?
And the drug war immediately.
How
Stop
would you would have
arresting-
did that?
Stop arresting individuals for simple possession of drugs and go after the real source. The United States government controls the drug trade every step of the way, from the United States military guarding the opium crop in Afghanistan. That's why one of the main reasons why the United States has been engaged in that war, based on the false flag attacks carried out by the Jewish mafia, Israel, and the criminal United States government, which spurred an increase in the drug war, which was the opium epidemic. Why? The U.S. government and the CIA are exporting all the drugs to the United States, and now we have an opium epidemic. Who would have thought that happened? Like, what? Folks can't connect the dots?
So if you would have been
and
sheriff-
the police, if I would have been sheriff,
Let the city out there know if you would have been sheriff, what you would have did.
we would have immediately, arrested all government officials.
Oh, wow.
Starting with the Federal Reserve Bank, and then once we arrested Jeffrey Lacker, now it would be another Jew. Jeff Lacker's a Jew, head of the president of the Richmond Federal Reserve Bank. Thomas I. Barkin, also a Jew. Jews make up 2% of the American population, and they control
But we run the world.
overwhelmingly.
We run the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Because they're so dubious.
Let's go back.
Arrest those guilty of treason.
Now, let's
Control
go-
the money and control the jails and control the guns.
Now I'm gonna go back to the question before.
But all the elections are rigged, and if you don't believe that, then you just don't watch the news.
I don't watch the news. So.
Okay.
now-
Then you don't know about these hackers in Las Vegas hacking into the voting machine on more than half of the United States in 2 minutes. And you haven't seen, for the fact, going back to even before the year 2000, how there has been complete hacking in every voting election. In 2013, there were 0 votes in 6 precincts in Richmond. In 2012, there were 0 votes in 6 precincts 8 days after the election. If you know how the voting machines work, and you know how the physical tapes work, and you know who the individuals are who run the election, and that it's the clerk of the court, the current clerk of the court, and the former clerk of the court, Bevel Dean, who are overseeing all of this, and how it's not a mystery at all. 6 precincts? No votes? That means, what, 15, 16,000 people voted? Do you not? Okay, so I'm explaining to this guy right here about how the voting machines are easily hacked into every election, and how when there were ballots used in the past primary elections, then the ballots came stuffed in a box, pre-filled out before anyone voted here in the city of Richmond. If you know anything about the Richmond Electoral Board or Kirk Showalter or Cecilia Dabney or the Virginia State Board of Elections, and you trust these elections, I would like to sell you some swampland in Antarctica. It's absurd.
Okay, Chris. Now
with the weather manipulation, there must be some available, so I like to get some swampland.
Now, Chris, we gonna go. Hold on, Chris. We gonna go back to what you said before.
It would be impossible for Antarctica to be turned into swampland.
Weather manipulation. They'll find chemtrails.
Even if weather manipulation were used, Antarctica would have to have some sort of swampy land underneath of the permanent ice, which it is. Is that
we got 10 minutes left out there, viewers. We got 10 minutes left. Hold on. Chris, now the question I got to ask you, Chris, we will go 2 questions back.
Again?
I know that Antarctica is made of ice.
I hear you, Tony.
Chris.
This is hard, man.
Chris. Yeah, you said about the African burial ground.
Antarctica is made of ice.
Now, what you said about the African burial ground, and let you spit that out. You said, spit your opinion out, because I had asked Chad about that.
Let's do it with everyone. Let's treat everybody's
So you don't think that it should be memorialized? The African burial ground down Richmond should be memorialized where the ancestors died and bled, right?
What did I just say though?
Tell the people.
No, I'm going to tell the people again. I said it should.
Okay.
And so should everybody else's ancestors. Everybody should be memorialized. Everybody's deaths should be memorialized. That's what I say. Let's dig up everybody's and have it equal for everybody. I'm fine with that.
Dig up everybody's? What does that even mean?
Well, it means that there are human remains scattered all over private land that became public land, or farms that became private property, and there are bones and remains of humans who have lived around the United States and around the world everywhere, and let's dig them all up and memorialize all of them.
What are you saying now? Like, I hear you. Okay, so we agree. That's good. We agree. I'm glad we can agree on something.
Good. Let's do it.
But why do you have to then go to let's memorialize everybody? Like, why does it have to go
Why exclude some? Why exclude?
Equity. Do you know what equity means? Do you know what equity means?
Do you think I know what equity means?
I don't think you do, no.
I certainly know exactly what equity means.
And what does that mean to you?
It means multiple different things.
No, it means one thing. It's a word. It's a word that means something. So what does it mean?
When you're talking about equality...
Not equality. Equity. It's a different word.
Equitable. Equitable.
What does
Something
that mean?
something to do with being fair. Equitable. Is that a good enough? I'm not a dictionary.
I mean, you get into where you give people what they need to get to where they need to get. Some people can see over the fence.
So do you know
without a
what
stool.
equitable means?
Some people need a stool to see over the fence. So you don't give the person a stool to see over the fence and then say, we got to give everybody stools, right? You can see over the fence yourself already, you're good. But let's be equitable
I'm short.
and let everybody see over the fence.
I'm
That's
short. So I don't want any
metaphors.
special. I'm short. So I don't want any special rules for me
But
that's fine. That's fine. And I bet you're shorter than I am.
I'm 6 foot. I'm 6 foot, so I feel good.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm not. So, but here's the thing.
Look at the camera. Come on.
That's
man.
fine. Whatever. It doesn't matter. So
We
what
got
I'm
5
saying
minutes
is,
left, Chris. We got 5 minutes left. Go ahead.
don't give me a stool and set me apart.
Okay.
I will go to higher ground and look down.
You.
It is about every individual because the whole is not protected in the law of the land. Is this not the law of the land?
That is a piece of the law of land, addition to 242
No,
years of constitutional law. Like, you understand constitutional law? Do you know how that
No, I
works?
don't understand anything,
I
but
don't
I
think you do.
comprehend.
Like, that's why
No,
I'm
because
asking.
I have the
What
highest
you're saying
standing.
sounds
I have the
crazy.
highest standing because when I say I don't understand anything, I don't give anything that has to do with the government standing over me because I ordained the government.
You let nothing in that mental mentality.
No, I ordained the government.
Okay, Chris.
Okay.
Go ahead, wrap it up because I'm
So
about to wrap up.
Here.
In your piece, Chris. In your piece on the Constitution.
So this guy's a social studies teacher. Okay. So if you don't know this, if you haven't read the Constitution, and I know this guy hasn't read the Constitution. He holds it up, but he hasn't read it. He doesn't know anything about it. The people ordain the government. The people ordain the government. It doesn't say anything about special treatment for underprivileged anyone. It's based on the common law. That's what started this whole argument. Based on the book Two Treatises on Government by John Locke.
That started the
Okay,
Declaration.
You're
mixing things up.
Now, Chad, let's
No, I'm not.
I mean,
Because
we about to let Chad. Let's go ahead.
But that's not true.
Chad.
This dude, let him go. He likes to talk.
No,
He likes what he has to say.
yeah, because I'm gonna make my point real. Let them be quiet. The Bill of Rights is based on Virginia Constitution. Virginia Constitution, and right here, is the Virginia Declaration of Rights, and that is the basis for the Bill of Rights of the United States Constitution, of the Constitution for the United States.
You're only a little correct, but go ahead.
I'm 100% correct.
Now, Chris,
and that's based on the rights
Chris and
of
Chad,
John
Chris and
Locke.
Chad, we can bring it back. Chris and Chad, we can bring
This
it back.
guy doesn't know.
I just want to
This was
thank
not
both of
an
y'all.
honest debate because this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
I still want to thank both of y'all. I want to thank you, Chad. I want to thank you, Chris Dorsey. I know you live for stuff like this.
Me too.
You know, I thank you, Chad, for
I
this.
enjoyed
You know,
myself.
answering the debate. Y'all both sat down like men
We did.
and chopped it up. So we clap it up for that.
Thank
You
you.
know what I'm saying? Both of y'all.
I would say
Go ahead, wrap it up. Y'all can shake it up.
in a
Ain't no shake up. Can we shake
dishonorable
up? Can we shake it up?
You acted in a
Can we
dishonorable
shake it up?
manner.
Shake it up. That's what I'm talking about right there. Unity. That's what I'm saying right there.
That was not unity. That was
Okay.
showing authority.
Oh, that wasn't unity. That was showing authority.
Disagree without being disagreed.
That's all it is.
I love you,
know.
bro. I love you.
See, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm bringing to the K.Kinte
See,
show.
he's a liar. When
No,
he-
I really love you. I really
Even
love
if
you.
we
too.
agree,
I
some
love
disagree,
God
we still can
instructs me
sit
to love
down
my
and have a decent conversation. Like grown men, you know. Check me out next week, man. K.Kinte show. Season 9, you don't know what I'm going to do. See how I'm bringing it, man. I'm having debates now. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to debate, holler at me. I set it up. You know, I Don King this one right here. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to both of them. Man. Chris ain't even pulled a pistol out. I had to get between them.
Never
That's
in my
why I thought
life.
he could pull a pistol out. Because,
Man.
you know, this is the most radicalist white guy I know. So, you know,
Not
I had
radical
to
in
get
any
out.
sort of way.
I had to get out.
Not
you know what I'm
radical
saying?
in any sort of way.
This plan, Chris. You know, I know,
I mean, I just
I know,
like
Chris. I know you
straight.
protect yourself. I know you protect yourself, and that's what you're supposed to do. You got to.
Yeah, after the murder attempts,
Oh, yeah,
carried out
Chris,
by
definitely.
government
Thank
officials,
you.
of course.
And thank you, Mr. Chad Ingold,
Thank you, K.Kinte.
history teacher. You know,
Extraordinaire.
Already.
Extraordinaire.
Misinformation artist.
I threw my thing open high school, shout out to Richmond School,
you
all
know,
the students.
and Chad, I'm tripping off your tattoos. You know, I'm tripping off with that. I like that. That's Illuminati,
Tight,
boy.
it's tight. It's a tight tattoo, right? Like,
You know, so
I'm illuminated. What can I say? I'm enlightened.
You are certainly not.
we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Check us out next week. K.Kinte show, Comcast 95, Verizon 30 to 6, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I'm bringing it, man. We ain't have no fight, no shootout, no nothing. We good, man. We can debate and sit down in peace.
Richmond.
Thank y'all guys, man. Thank y'all.
God bless.